Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women's Broadcast Television Network Expert Spotlight Interview. And wait till you meet this fabulous lady today. She is from Los Angeles, but we'll tell you she's actually from New York and moved to Los Angeles. It's Nancy Fox, the business Fox. Nice to see you, Nancy.
Hey, how are you? Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. We'll have to get into how you moved from New York to LA in a minute, but I really want people to know, before we get started into the business and all of that good stuff, tell us a little bit about yourself. What is your background? How did you get to where you are today?
Well, Jayne, it was really sort of a very funny story because I started in the corporate world and I moved to Los Angeles after college and because I love the weather and I have family out here, and I was just sort of searching for a career direction until I landed this really unusual job. I was hired as a salesperson for a women's underwear company. And I didn't know anything about women's underwear. They trained me. I don't even think I was wearing a bra at that time. I mean, it was just a crazy thing. And I started to really love that industry, and it was a really fun time. I was working with a lot of department stores and retailers, and eventually got into bra design and marketing. And so eventually, over the course of a few years, I became an executive in major companies that manufactured and marketed women's bras and underwear. And so eventually I moved back to New York and had a number of different positions in that world for 20 years and traveled all over the world. And it was really, really a great experience. I learned so much about business. Manufacturing will teach you everything you need to know about business and leadership and management and product and you just get to learn everything. So it was a great time. And then the industry really changed. A lot of production was going to the Far East. So I was on an airplane for 2 weeks, out of the country for 2 weeks at a time. It was no longer fun. And I decided that it was time for a change. And it was pretty scary. So I left the industry. Even though I loved it, it was just not the same. And I had to reinvent myself. And it sort of led me to taking a lot of professional and personal development courses, and I landed on coaching, and eventually just transformed my whole career into I now train and coach and consult to companies and businesses on how to improve their businesses, how to get more business, how to improve their the talent within their companies and in their organizations. And it's just been a really wonderful ride. So now I've been doing that for a really long time too. So I've had two great careers and very blessed.
Yeah, and so what kind of businesses?
I work a lot with service businesses. Even though I came out of a product industry, for some reason I resonated with businesses that are doing services. They are all delivering services. They can be marketing companies. They can be personal services businesses like hairdressing companies and things like that. But mostly I work with professional services, people who are doing financial services,
accounting, lawyers,
law. Yeah, a lot of the women that I'm working with are professionals.
Yes, and that's more difficult, I think, always to grow a business with services than it is products. And because products, people, what they're looking for. It's, if they're looking for a bra, then they look up bra. Services, on the other hand, and there's a lot of choices and a lot of places you can go buy that bra, but with services, you just have hundreds of people with that same services. So who do you choose?
Well, that is exactly it. You've hit the nail right on the head.
And I'm sure, and with your expertise with manufacturing comes in real important, right? Because you've gone from manufacturer, distributor, store. You kind of learn the whole gamut.
It's interesting that you say that because I began to realize when I transitioned, I figured, well, no one's going to hire me because I don't know anything about their business. But I learned something remarkable. Business is business. And the same principles that hold true in manufacturing in terms of strategy and all of that were exactly the same in the service arena, except that you now realize that you are the product. So what is different, however, is the benefits and the sort of the unique value proposition is more of an esoteric one, and learning how to describe that for people in a very, I call it short, sticky, and sensational. And so it really is about how to be that. How do you be distinct when there's a sea of people out there? So that's one of the key things that I'll work with people on now, is how to distinguish themselves from everybody else.
So important, and I love your background. So I also love the name of your business. How did you come up with the Business Box?
Oh my God, it's a really good story. I'm telling you, these stories they're too, you can't make these up.
Yeah.
So I was, my original business name was Fox Coaching Associates. Really, very boring, very corporate. It really worked because corporations got it. And I just, I felt stifled. I wanted my personality to come out. And I felt like I am so enthusiastic about business and people and working to, in collaboration with people. I said, this is so boring. So I wanted to rebrand, and I hired this brander and that brander and this, and I kept searching. One day, one of my coaching colleagues tweeted about me. And she said, Nancy Fox, that Business Fox. And I went, oh my God, that's it. So I started asking everybody around, well, what do you think of the name The Business Fox? And people were telling me, it's too sexy, it's too suggestive, don't do it. But as soon as I saw it fit, I said, that's it. And it's been remarkable because I've done various things with it. It's the Business Fox, the Learning Fox, the Marketing Fox, the Networking Fox. So branding is really the naming of things. I love that. I just love it, and I just enjoy it. So you never know when someone's going to actually give you your brand. You have to be open and listen and watch. So
and sometimes you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, right?
Well, yeah, sometimes you hire the best and you get the best, and I certainly am a believer of that.
Yeah.
In this case, it was just I was paying attention.
That's right. And whatever resonated with you will resonate with your people you're trying to attract, and then it all just works. I love how let's expand a little bit, because I did notice, before we talked, we're looking at the Business Fox and how you've been able to take that brand and expand it. Can you kind of give some ideas for some people and why that's important? Like doing books underneath and keeping the same brand umbrella, but you can do different things under that, and why that's important.
Well, there's that, and then there's also the caution behind it. So the first thing that had to happen was I had to establish the Business Fox. If I had line extended, or in product marketing terms, we call it line extension. If I had brand extended too early, I don't think it would have confused people. So I waited. The first piece was really educating people about the Business Fox, and I did that in a variety of ways. I did a lot of, I did my own newsletter. I rebranded my newsletter, and I was very religious about posting it. And I did a lot of social network posting. I did a lot of networking on LinkedIn. And I included the new logo. So all of it went together. But I had to it spent a couple of years establishing that brand.
Oh, what great advice.
Yeah. Then, because what happens is entrepreneurs very often, we have the bright, shiny penny syndrome. We want to do everything. And I'm included. I have, my brain is sort of creative, and I've got if you were in my office now, you'd see all these ideas everywhere. I've got a big brain dump everywhere. But what happens is you have to start to narrow that down and really stay focused until you've gotten something saturated, and then you can expand from there. So after that, then I knew that I needed to write a book. And I had the book about networking in my computer for about 4 years before I actually finished it. Not that I just stuck it in there, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And when the time was right and I felt ready, I knew that the time was right to finish it. And it's a good thing I didn't publish it when I first started, because my focus, what the actual of the book is today, altered dramatically. I would have just done a book on networking, but this time it was about not just how to network. It was really about how to network a very strategic, targeted way to only meet the right people.
Ah,
That it took time to percolate.
we can waste a lot of time going to networking events that aren't our right crowd.
The reason I know is I did it, and my friends were doing it. My clients were doing it. So eventually, I always tell people, if you want to write a book and it's in a highly populated area or arena where there's a lot of attention on that topic, that's a good thing. But then the other side of it is, how do you get noticed? You have to have your particular value proposition, your angle to it. So you got to tweak it a little. And that's what worked, that it was a distinct angle on networking.
Interesting. I love it. Tell us a little bit about your book, because I know you're going to offer a free ebook version. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Well, the book is about what happened for me was I was building my business sort of on the ground with, I love networking, and I found that I was eventually enjoying it and becoming good at it, and I was teaching it to other people. I started doing my own networking events and started speaking about it, and it started to sort of become my thing, what I was known for. So the book, it's nice to have an idea about how to write a book, but I didn't have a platform. I knew I wasn't going, well, I had two choices: to try to find an agent to help me sell it and market it and all that, which they don't do anyway. You have to have your own platform in order to get that to happen, which I didn't have the criteria at the time. And then I also didn't want to lose control of the whole direction. That's the other part of it. If you find a publisher to publish it, you lose your control. They will control it. So I made a decision after some research to self-publish, and my decision at the time, and it's evolving, is I wanted to use the book as a way to enhance my speaking and get more speaking. So it was a cycle, or sort of a cycle of how to market and also how to be marketed. So the book was, I had an outline of the book. I created the outline, and I call them buckets. Anybody who wants to write a book, it's not hard. You have to know what you want to write about. You have to be very focused about that. And then you create your buckets and you fill into the buckets. And all I did was every day from 6 to 7 in the morning, got on the iPad and wrote the book. What I also did which was fun, is I included about a dozen or so interviews of great networking stories.
I love it.
People who broke through and met the right people and what it did for their careers. I mean, I've had people who were they were people who met Hugh Hefner and started to work for him, and networked their way into all kinds of amazing. Person who networked his way into working for Bill Clinton, and I mean, just these really outrageous, crazy, but wonderful and really life-altering stories about how to meet the right people and how your life can turn around like that. So it was fun.
So you're offering anyone listening right now on the WBTVN channel to get a free copy. Where would they do that?
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. We need to put a page up or a location for you. But if you go to the page www.networklikeafox.com, I'm going to put up a special coupon and code for you. Click on that, and you'll get your free e-version of the book, because I want to spread the word, and I think that everybody that is listening at some point or another is going to do some networking for their life, for their business. I mean, it's not just about business. Networking, needing to know the right people and be interacting with them, can make a huge difference for you, for your children, for your health, for your life. So the principles are the same. So there'll be a coupon on that page, a code, where when you actually click to purchase the ebook, Network Like a Fox, it'll come up as a zero balance, so you'll just get it for free. And you can read it online.
That's fantastic. Maybe the code we can make WBTVN.
Yeah, cool.
That would be the code. And
I love it. You know what? Let me take it. I'll let you know, so
okay.
we'll be able to publicize that. That's really cool. That's a great idea.
That'll be fun, and then we can put the code on the bottom of this video. So
Oh, I love it. What a great idea, Jayne. Right, excellent.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, tell us where they can find you more about your business as far as the Business Fox and your coaching business, and so.
Great. Well, you can find me thebusinessfox.com. I have lots and lots of information about coaching, training, speaking, both group and individual. I also have a networking course that people can take. It's a virtual course. It's really, and that's a standalone product. And they can also certainly reach out to me at nancy@thebusinessfox.com. And I'm all over social media. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I have a Business Fox page on Facebook, so you can find me there. I'm starting to do a lot of promoting there. And eventually, in the next year or so, I'm going to be putting up a very special new, I'm so excited about it. People have been asking me for years how I transformed my face-to-face, in-person coaching and training into a virtual business, how to take that business and put it online. And I'm going to be putting up a university, an online university for people who really want to learn how to take their service-based business and find a way to transform their expertise and their knowledge and their service online.
Well, you know, I have an e-learning company.
You are?
I do have one. I started a video company 12 years ago and started my e-learning company 7 years ago, helping spread God's message throughout the world. And then I transitioned into speakers, authors, trainers. So we'll need to talk after the.
Oh, we do. You see how knowing the right people is so much. I didn't know that. That's really great. Thank you.
We kind of took our passions with WBTVN and had an e-learning video, women. So.
Well, I want to tell you, this is the thing. We all grow. Like, I love face-to-face networking, but here's what, over the last 2 years or so, I've been on LinkedIn for a long time. I am just crazy about networking online, and I have met some outrageous people. So awesome. That's what sort of got me that turned me on to the whole thing.
Oh, that's great news. So we always leave the program with 2 great nuggets our viewers can take away. And with you with networking and your business, I know you have some great information you want to share with our viewers.
So I have 2 things that I use every single day, and I'm just going to share them with you. And I think the first thing for every woman, it's really the mindset is the first thing. And that is our biggest enemy, our own negative self-talk, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs. So the first thing is really, in order to really work on that, you really have to put some new nuggets in place in your own brain, and you have to really think about how, not if. And it's for me, the if word is really a killer. Take it out of your vocabulary and think about how, whatever it is you want to accomplish. And the second one is every day, it's daily consistent activity toward your goal. A little bit, 10 minutes, 15, that's all it takes, a little bit every day, and you'll be amazed at the progress you make.
Oh, I absolutely love that, because people think they need to just launch it and it's ready and it's huge, but you got to take these little steps to learn the way, adjust if you need to. So I love that advice. So again, tell everybody how they can find you, what websites, and where to go to get their free report.
Okay, let's start with the free report. Go to www.networklikeafox.com, and we'll have a coupon up there for you with WBNTV. What are the letters? WBN TV. Okay, good. Got that right. And then you can also find me at thebusinessfox.com.
Fantastic. We really appreciate you being on our Expert Spotlight show today, Nancy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thanks for watching Women's Broadcast Television Network Spotlight interview with Nancy Fox. We'll see you soon.